welcome to another episode of the Everyman Show. Sitting here in New York City, up in Times Square to be exact. Shout out to our friends here at the Stew for letting us borrow their studios to record these magical, fantastical, and memorable episodes of the Everyman Show. And sitting here with me today is the crew. I got a crew. This is my New York team now. I've got my dear friend here, Paul Pete, hanging out, manning the show with us. And I've got the infamous, legendary, now New Yorker, New Yorker.
Stop.
Jack.
Stop it.
Stop it, you're embarrassing me over here. And I'm excited, guys. We're here, we're meeting more artists, we're learning about New York City. I feel like I've explored a great deal. I'm becoming a New Yorker as I sit here. I'm becoming a New Yorker. When I come out of here, I'm gonna have to need your do-rag. I want it for my chin. I'll put a do-rag on my chin, get the waves on my hair.
Just real quick though, so just a tip for New Yorker, when you say New Yorker, take out the ER at the end.
Take out the ER at the end?
New Yorker.
New Yorker. Oh, trade it for the N.
You're a friggin' New Yorker.
New York guy. Okay, see, I'm learning.
I'll get you in the clubs in Manhattan. And,
Okay. If I start twanging and shit, they're gonna be like the country bars down the street.
yeah.
They sell Budweiser down there.
They'll send you to Club Beloved.
It's Club Beloved. Guys, sitting here talking with us is an artist. Cool thing about this show is that, I know some people out here, but I don't know everybody. So we're discovering these artists and we're learning what they do out here.
I guess is your mission to meet every man.
Yes, exactly.
Man.
Yes.
And woman.
They're getting the show in here, people. It took 5 years, but we're starting to understand what the show's about. But yeah, our next guest, guys, is an artist. At least I'm assuming everything that I'm doing as I introduce you. But he's an artist. Works, I guess, with our dear friend that's been on the show, Dreamcast McFly. Yeah, man. You look like you were part of the Dream Team over there.
I'm a new member.
You're a newer member?
Just,
You qualified and just got on?
pretty much, I paid membership dues. I got the card.
Did you jump off a stage yet?
I can't.
With
say
a ladder?
anything. I can't say anything more. I swore an oath.
Okay, that sounds like Dreamcast would have had you do all that, because he definitely does
I
jump
can't
off
either
fucking
confirm or
ladders.
deny, but I don't ride any motorcycles. So.
All right. But sitting here with us, it's the artist known as Ali. Yeah? Ali Bishop. There we go. I like that. That Ali Bishop, it has a nice ring to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sounds like a dude that's either going to break out into like a rhyme or he's coming to get you and fuck you up. Like, you wouldn't want to have beef with a dude and I come by and I be like, yo, man, Ali Bishop is coming to look for you. Like, you see, that's how you gotta go. That's how you gotta do it. He got to clear it. It's fucking Ali Bishop, baby.
Ali Bishop, nigga.
And I show you a picture of him with the do-rag on and shit. They're like, yo, no nice people wear do-rags.
No.
Yo, people with do-rags,
That brother's coming to get you.
yeah, they're willing to put a
Bishop.
body down
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit. Like, they're bagging
He's gonna
bodies.
shoot you in your kneecap.
Toe tag ass.
I think you just confirm or deny.
That is the
Good
Dreamcast
answer.
way. But thank you for doing this, man. Thank you for joining the show. I'm very excited here to meet you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you, man. But where are you from originally?
I was born in Massachusetts, and I came to New York when I was like 5. So,
Oh my God.
I was birthed somewhere else, but I was raised here in New York.
Why, out of all days, one thing I didn't want to do while I was here today was run into someone from Boston. Damn it!
Why?
I mean, I can't claim Boston officially, but technically.
Okay, cool.
Like
Thank
Michael
God.
Jordan
Thank
was
God.
born in Brooklyn,
All right.
technically, but
Thank you.
he's
All right, but
North
look.
Carolina.
All right, great. So your heart doesn't lay with Boston.
I can't claim Boston. It would be fake.
Then it's safe to say in here, go Heat.
Oh, that's
Seven,
why.
baby.
Oh,
Game
duh.
seven.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation about that
Yes, we
earlier.
had a.
They did have their chance.
Yes, I mean, but are you a big sports fan for?
I am.
Yeah, you love the Celtics and the.
Well, no, I'm a Laker fan, but
All right, see this. Okay, you're good in the street. I thought we were gonna
pre-LeBron, yes,
Okay.
pre-LeBron.
Pre-LeBron, you're not a LeBron fan.
I go back, man. I dig the Showtime Lakers.
All right.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Pat Riley was around.
Yeah, Magic and Kareem and Worthy and
Oh, you're a real Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Who was on that team? Who was that dude who played the most games? Who played for them? I forgot his name.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
No. Somebody else.
Kareem was in there for a minute.
Johnson something.
Magic Johnson.
No, not Magic. He was black.
narrows it down.
He was black.
Takes off about 2 names on the roster.
Jerry West.
Pat Riley. Yeah.
We're gonna be here all day because he said he's black.
Somebody
It's
Google
gonna be a
that.
while.
Somebody Google it.
So okay, so you were from Massachusetts, but you said so you were 5, and then what? You came over here to New York.
Yeah, raised-
We're here in New York,
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
All right, man. What part of Manhattan?
A couple different places. Started off Midtown. Now I live up in Harlem, and I was in Canarsie for a little bit as well. So
Canarsie. I think I've heard that in a rap song. I only know my areas of New York based on
Based on rap bars.
Yeah, like Marcy. Like, thank you, JC. I didn't know what Marcy was until JC came around.
Canarsi's out there.
Jay-Z trained there.
Yeah, like you can't even go to Marcy, bro. You know it's just dangerous.
Yeah, no, I know.
I know. I heard it on this song.
But you can take the J or the Z there.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why it's
that's
called
funny.
Jay Z?
I think that's why he picked that name. Well, Jazz also, but I don't know. I don't
It
know.
depends on who you ask.
Man, don't make me sound like no idiot. I'm gonna go back to Miami and be like, yo, my friends in New
I
York
know.
said that Jay Z got his name because he lived out there and took a train.
You gonna sound like you play with trains.
Do you like living in New York? What's it been like living in these parts of Manhattan?
I like the energy of New York. I like the culture of New York. I like the art of New York. I hate the bills in New York. I hate the rent in New York. I hate train fare in New York.
Is it expensive? Oh, how much is it to get on the train? I don't know. I haven't done that yet.
$275.
$75.
Okay, that's fine.
Probably gonna go up a little bit too. I would say.
It's going up.
I would say we're gonna hit 3.
It'll probably hit 3.
But do trains run on gas or something? What, inflation's caught up with that shit too?
Electricity.
Electricity? I thought that shit didn't run on no
I
gas.
think it runs on the blood of small babies.
Elon Musk got hold of the train, so he's taxing
Yeah,
y'all.
there's a lot of craziness going on right now, so I would not be surprised if that was the truth.
So,
But I will say, I have family in Atlanta,
okay.
and I have some friends who are in North Carolina, Philly. Been to California once or twice. I need to get to Miami.
You haven't gone over there?
I haven't gone there yet, but
Be careful,
I got
man.
plans, man. I got plans.
He's waiting for you.
I got plans.
A name
Especially
with Ali
music.
Bishop and a do-rag in Miami?
Yeah.
Sound like motherfuckers gonna try to find out what's up, man.
That pretty much happens anywhere you go. So,
All you gotta do is take LaGuardia to Fort Lauderdale, Spirit Airlines, buy your ticket at LaGuardia at the gate, say 50
fly
bucks.
Spirit. You do the
Real
Yeah,
shit. That's the
you
hack.
roll the dice
Okay,
with
good to
Spirit.
know.
Yeah, listen, man. They get FAA approval. Fuck that shit, man. Just like bologna, if the FDA says I can eat it,
Yeah,
I'll eat
okay,
that
all right,
shit.
no, I respect that.
And to do that is the same price as getting on a subway.
Yes.
So if you don't want to take the train, just
$2.75 to fly home.
That's about a ticket for Spirit.
It's 50 bucks. It's like 50, 60 bucks.
Yeah, but their seats don't recline.
I know they don't.
So
But
you
It's very
for the whole
uncomfortable.
flight.
for like 2.5 hours, I am. But when
Yeah,
I
it's
get
horrible,
off,
man.
it is. But
Hey,
I
listen,
get,
bro.
There's so much crime coming off.
There's nothing that Xanax can't fix.
Was that true?
All
Okay.
right, you pop a Xanax, you don't know what's going on.
Whatever
You might have sat on another plane going to Latvia and shit. You like, whatever, yo.
Guess,
I guess I'll go to Latvia. Didn't need to go to Miami. What is it that you do?
Yeah, so I have a band. The band is called Sound Frontier. I'm a musician.
Okay.
So I'm under that part of the umbrella, the artist, and then left or right side, but musician.
But you're a musician, so do you sing in the band or you play instruments?
I
What
play
do you do?
guitar.
You play the guitar?
Yeah, I play guitar, man.
Oh, hell
Do you
yeah.
play by reading or do you play by feel?
No, by acquired knowledge. Yeah,
I like that better. I think like that's the more the soulful way to play.
You know what, to be
Definitely.
honest with you? All the artists nowadays, especially guitarists, it's all self-taught. Like, I've never seen one say, yeah, I took the class for it and I learned a couple strings and shit. Nah, you motherfuckers just buy a guitar and start playing and shit.
It's the easiest one to access. That's probably why I started with it. But,
Yeah. Did you start with the acoustic or did you go advanced into
No, I
like
just
an
did
electric guitar?
I just did electric. That's a misconception.
Really?
Yeah, people say you got to start with the acoustic, but
Yeah, right.
they're two different animals, different breeds. So if you want to play acoustic, then you start with acoustic. But if you want to play electric, you should start with electric, or else you're gonna sound like an acoustic player.
But what does that mean? When you say
I mean, just in terms of like the style of music, the way you play the guitar as an on acoustic is very different than how you play it on an electric. So
Let me tell you now, and I know I'm about to hurt some of our dearest friends. One of our co-hosts on the show, Cynthia, shout out to Cynthia. She's a great artist. She plays the acoustic guitar. And I feel like I have so many great friends down in Miami that play acoustic guitar. But goddamn, it's one of the most boring instruments I've ever seen in life. So I'm sorry. I know I'm hurting feelings
This is
here. And I'm saying this amongst majority comedians and electric
this is
guitar.
an anti-acoustic guitar podcast.
No, well,
If you play acoustic guitar, go fuck yourself. You heard it here first.
actually, I think I've had enough acoustic guitars as I've had.
Do something that takes real talent, like comedy.
Yeah. That's
the worst. That's the most accessible, man.
we both like the guitar. We self-teach ourselves in a sense, you
more or
know.
less, more or
We
less.
sit here, we learn. It's just there's no electric comedian and acoustic comedian. It's the difference. But no, man. Like I just feel like acoustic. I feel like it's just so boring. I just feel like you're there and you gotta play something melodic. Like you gotta say something nice with an acoustic
Yeah.
guitar. And with an electric guitar, I feel like you can say I love the devil and like swing that bitch like you're gonna murder somebody
Right.
and you're the shit.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I like that extreme of life. I don't like the motherfucker that sits there by a tree and whoops out the guitar and goes, bling. I just want to sing this song here.
Yeah.
And then he starts singing Michael Bublé shit. Fuck Michael Bublé.
Man, what do he do to you?
Nothing. It's just funny.
You sound like this motherfucker
Sorry,
tired.
name is Michael Bublé.
He was raped and they was playing Michael Bublé.
This is my show, goddammit. I got beef with you, bitch.
Mike Bublé was like, you the nigga that owe me money. Like,
I don't even drink bubbly.
I like Michael Bublé, man. He tells good stories.
So, but you're saying there with the experience a little bit being up here. Now, you love the people and the culture. Did that play a big influence for you with your music growing up?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
I started out in hip hop. I mean, New York. So
Yeah, I mean, this is like the mecca for hip hop.
this is the only place in the entire universe where hip hop is an export.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it
mean-
would make sense.
Like everywhere else, imported it. It started here, so it's
Well,
in the air. It's in the concrete.
well, I've had this conversation before on the show.
Osmosis.
I've had this conversation, and I had someone a few episodes ago, actually a few seasons ago, pointed out something that I wasn't privy to, and you know, I'm curious to ask you since you made that mention. You know, they make claims that hip hop originated, or the concept of it really originated in Jamaica,
Yeah.
and then it carried over here to New York, and New York
So-
kind of, you know, put its own spin on it,
It's New York, you know.
and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Here's my take on that. So New York is an immigrant city.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all kinds
It's
of
a world, of
cultures.
course.
Everything comes in through New York, and so Jamaicans came to New York. They're still here, and they brought with them what they did. So they brought what was called the sound system over from Jamaica, which was their party. That's how they had parties. They had
Yeah.
big trucks,
Exactly.
the speakers and all that. So Kool Herc and all them people did sound systems because that's what they knew. That's what their parents did, and then they started playing the tracks. So the Jamaican connection is it provided the space for hip hop, like the format, the structure.
Right, it was like the seed, if you will.
The culture is New York. It's not like there were people in Jamaica in 1972, like.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Wearing Adidas.
you know what I mean? Like breakdancing in Kingston and what
Run
have you.
DMC was gonna be originally this Jamaican group.
Yeah,
The lawsuits.
yeah. I don't think that happened, but it provided the context. So that's for me. That's the connection. The Jamaican.
I would think that's the logic approach of it. You know,
Yeah.
like if you were gonna think of how it all manifested,
Yeah.
you know, the Jamaican culture coming over here and
Yeah.
just being a part of the influence of the area, and then New Yorkers themselves just turn around and put their spin on it, and
Yeah.
now you know we are where we are with it. But your background is hip hop initially. Where did the passion for guitar come in? How
Jimi
did-
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Okay.
And
What was the first record you heard from Jimi Hendrix?
I remember the first record, but I remember the first thing I saw of him was a video for Are You Experience?
Okay.
And it's just like clips of his
Yeah,
live
I've seen
stuff.
that.
And I just remember just, you know when something clicks, something goes off, the antenna starts moving, and so I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so, my dad actually played guitar, so there was always a guitar. It was an acoustic. It was in the house.
God damn it.
Yeah. Shout outs to my dad, by the way. Yeah.
We don't want your dad on this show.
But so the guitar was present, and something about him, and so the more you dig in, if it turns you on, it turns you on, and I just went down that path.
You started to take a serious approach with the music then.
Once you start playing, the key is you have to play with people. I always find that it's very hard unless you're going to school for it. It's very hard to pick things up on your own. Like I tried to do learn the blues in 12 Easy Step, that book. There's like 7,000 of them out there, and you listen to it, and then it didn't make sense. But I was lucky enough to come across people who played the guitar that I wanted to play, and they were able to show me stuff. So once you start vibing with people, jamming with people, it starts to make sense. And then once it starts picking up,
Things start to
you
happen.
go from there. It's like a language.
How long have you been playing guitar?
2001.
Oh my gosh, you definitely got some years on that. You
Yeah, I'll
definitely
put in some
probably
work.
pulled in your crap right
Put in
now.
some work. Yeah.
For sure. Do you remember your first time playing for anybody? Were you good?
For anybody?
Yeah. Or in the performance, do you remember? your first
Just
performance?
open mics.
Yeah?
Around the city. Jam
What was your
sessions.
first performance like?
Horrifying.
Horrifying. You should ask us comedians.
That sounds like an open mic. Yeah.
It's like when there's the normal sounds, right? The music that's playing, you hear people, the tinkering of the glasses, you hear all that stuff, and then you come on, and you get nervous, and you try to plug in, and you're making sure that, right? You never check the volume correctly,
Right.
all that stuff, and then people start playing, and you try to find a way to lay in the cut with everybody, and then as they move around, it comes to your turn. It's like, okay, your turn to see what you can do, and you're like, then all the sound stops.
Yeah, you freeze up.
It's
and
just
shit.
silence. It's
Yeah.
just silence. You just hear like a vacuum of just.
Did you play like an original or did you do a cover?
No, it was a cover.
What
It
was
was
your
cover
first song?
songs. I remember playing "Love and Happiness."
Nice.
It's an Alice Green song at a jam, and I kind of knew the song, so I felt comfortable. And the typical young boy rookie experience, you play more than you should.
Yep.
And
You ran the light.
I ran the light. It wasn't quite, the actual song.
You were doing the extended solo
I doing
shit.
kind of not.
Yeah.
I didn't wild out on it, but I was trying some other things. And I remember the head of the gym just kind of looked at me. You know what I mean?
And he said he'd stop that shit.
He did actually. He kind of put his hand out. This is afterwards. So he was nice. The song finished, and then he was like,
Yeah.
Enough, son.
Yeah, young man.
Take your guitar and your do-rag and get on the stage.
What he said was, learn the whole song first.
It's a real. It's,
I like
I
it.
mean, it's
Then play.
Yeah.
Learn the song first. The
That's
whole
a vet,
song.
That's a vet talking.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's a love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
About
I mean,
yes.
yeah. I mean,
Yes,
you
yes,
gotta-
sensei.
Thank you, Sensei. Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah,
You got to.
You see my man with one leg up next week on a fucking wood log and shit playing the guitar.
You know? But the funny thing is now, because I still go to jams. I actually I run one called the Haven Jam,
Nice.
which is in Brooklyn by the Brooklyn Naval Yard on Wednesdays from 8 to 11.
And it's an open mic or
It's a jam session, so you can come in and play live music. We have singers, some poets, musicians.
What is it again?
It's at the Brooklyn Naval Yard,
Brooklyn Naval
right
Yard.
by Flushing. Yeah, we're on Instagram at the Haven Jam.
The
Haven
So you
Jam.
can check us out there.
That's
You
fucking.
can pull up, man. You just poets. Probably can do a little comedy. Might
No.
do 5
I
minutes
mean,
to it.
I've done fake poetry before.
Oh, yeah,
I like
so
to make fun of
come through.
poets.
Nice.
This is bullshit. At Churchill.
To be or not to be.
Yeah.
Poetry.
Oh, yeah?
Fake poetry.
Okay.
Because they were like, we put on comics last or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, all right, well, I'll do poetry then, bitch. You know.
Cut that
Change my
line.
mind on that. I'm a poet.
You just say your jokes more dramatically. Yeah.
I just said dumb shit.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why did the chicken cross the road? You know? But the funny thing is now when I'm doing jams, I'm an older guy. So I see the young guy come in with the same look on his face and do the same shit.
Oh, you do the same thing?
So now I'm like, hey, learn the song.
But do they? But do
You know what I
they
mean?
see it?
You pass it. You're supposed to do that. You know.
But do
The
they
circle
receive
is
it nice like
complete.
you did, or do they give you attitude for it?
Some, I mean,
These little young
yeah,
kids
but
got
what I-
attitude problems,
yeah,
man.
but-
Slap shit out.
but they know too. They know.
Yeah.
So,
So starting with your career early, you started with some open mics, but has it grown? Did it
Yeah.
grow over the years from there? Where have you been able to take it?
so now I got my band. It's called Sound Frontier.
Right.
It's a trio.
Okay.
Doing kind of like the Hendrix.
You got a
thing.
drummer?
Got a drummer. Got a bass player.
I feel like it's a full band when you have a drummer.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have a bass player, you're a very fortunate person. Because
Very.
bass players, you
Yeah.
don't find them. They are the true dime a dozen.
Yeah,
They're rare.
In the
That is
world.
true.
Yeah.
That is true.
You can never find yourself a fucking someone that wants to play bass
it's
all the
like
time.
the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch.
Yeah.
What goes on now?
Yeah.
Especially when he runs away.
I only
Come back,
know.
motherfucker! Come back!
There's only one.
Hold on, don't scare the bass player over there.
So you were getting there, and we got a little sidetracked. But like your achievements through you playing, you said you got your band now.
Got the
But
band, we,
have you been able to do any notable performances? Have you been in some special venues or anything?
We played SOBs. We played the Bitter End.
Bitter End, that's a top club right there.
And then these are places here in New York.
Yeah, Bitter End is very historic. Cosby played Bitter End.
Really?
Bring up Cosby.
I'm glad he's here and he can validate these places because I'm just like, yep.
I know, right?
That's one of the top notch places, man. The Cats back in the day used to be playing there and a couple of other clubs, and it was.
It's one of the institution places in New York, in the Village.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the Village. I love the Village.
Sound Frontier hasn't played, but I played at a couple
that,
jams.
Bitter End was
Oh, you
open.
did?
Yeah.
It's open mic.
Still counts.
Kind of.
Still counts.
Yeah.
Don't tell my age.
Cafe Wow. Some of those places.
Yeah.
So
Now we asked and we're talking here, and just from the responses, I want to ask. So, New York is so vast. Obviously, you got all these boroughs and everything. What's the best place out here in all of New York City to be a musician and perform? Is it in the boroughs of Brooklyn? Is it in Manhattan? Where's the best place where music is being cultivated constantly, even on the underground?
are you talking underground or are you talking like industry?
Yeah, well, underground because
Underground?
that's pretty much where everyone pretty much starts. So
Well, there's a lot of gentrification going on, so there's a lot of movement right now too. So things that used to be, like you go to the Village had most of the spots across the board in terms of genres too, like rock, acoustic, comedy, hip hop. Around here even a little bit, but people have moved out. People have moved in, so things that were like popping downtown, like those places are no longer there. there was a spot called probably a while ago now, but New Eurekan Cafe.
Okay.
They had a thing called Lyricist Lounge, which became a mixtape for hip hop. That was pretty big, but then things move, people move. So New York is in a transitional stage right now. So
Right.
I think the Village has moved to Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Bushwick, and all those places that become like the new Village.
Okay.
In terms of hip hop, it's still the open mics, so Bushwick, Village. The Bronx a little bit, but I find like Bronx and Queens have the best like rehearsal studios. They have the best facilities for stuff, but in
Okay.
terms of like the open mics and the jam sessions, you're probably gonna find them Manhattan, Brooklyn.
That's the place for musicians, especially.
Sort of the little hubs where people are trying to congregate
Right.
and build up stuff.
Right. I asked this earlier in the form of comedy. Camaraderie. Is it huge out here? Is there a huge camaraderie for other musicians to support one another? I mean, is the crowd accepting? Of musicians here, especially the underground ones, because mainstream is a whole other, obviously it's mainstream.
I think there's more of that for musicians as opposed to like MCs and rappers. For like, if you go to hip hop situations, I think it's a little more cutthroat, a little more sort of industry driven.
Yeah.
Whereas for the musicians, the industry has moved more toward hip hop. So people who are playing instruments feel a little more comfortable because it's not sort of infiltrated with like, the A&Rs and da here and and now you have to put on for someone who there's a little bit more like, hey, we're all playing the music, so it's a little more intimate in that respect. But
Right.
it's still New York though, so you still you gotta compete against.
You gotta
people.
compete. Well, yeah, no,
it's
I-
not a love fest. I can't say it's.
I mean, I think the level of talent out here is more up there as opposed to most other places you go to. I'm not counting LA because that too, the level of talent. But I think New York itself, when it just comes to pure talent, not the industry-driven side of it, but the pure talent, I think it's immense out here. Whether you're a musician or you're in comedy or you're an actor, everyone's striving, and there's a certain level of expectation out here, from what I'm guessing.
I think also it's easier to break through outside of New York.
Outside of New York?
Yeah, I think.
As a musician, or in general?
Yeah, I think in general as any kind of artist, but as a musician too, like, because there's so many here in New York. So if you got an album, you got an Instagram page, and you're like, hey, I got a band, and the guy will be like, yeah, I got one too. Like,
Yeah.
my nephew got one, trying to sell a mixtape. Like, you're not impressing anybody. Everybody's, that's New York. Everybody's got their own.
Dude, I'm opening for my nephew tonight.
It's gonna make money.
Check him to the show.
Comedy show. I just had my son is turning 3.
My shitty fucking nephew's only giving me 5 minutes on his bar show.
So if you're in a smaller town and it's like bigger fish, small pond versus big pond, small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You mentioned that they're out of town. Have you also played out of town yourself? Have you played in other cities?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Nice. How'd it go out there?
Atlanta's cool. Atlanta's like gonna be like the new Hollywood in about another 2 or 3 years. Everything is moving to Atlanta. So
Yeah.
So
even the comedy scene out there. I don't know much for music. I can't speak on that too much, but hip hop is it's mecca out there. But music in general, I don't know. But comedy, just you see that, man. You're starting to see the sparks up there.
It's the same.
So now just kind of fast forward, and so you're here now. You got your band Sound Frontier. What are some of the major things you're doing now with your band?
Oh well, we got some new music that finally we were able to get done and completed, and we're gonna release this summer. 2 tracks, which I'm looking forward to doing on Spotify.
Is it a debut album?
Well, we don't do albums. So we're we're doing singles now. So it's gonna be 2 of them that we're gonna put out. So right now we're scheduling how we're gonna do it, pre-releases and all that, doing the Spotify, Apple Music, the whole kind of
What
shebang.
genre would you say the music is?
Fantastic question.
Yeah.
I was leading to that.
Yo, well, fucking get your hosting game up, John. What are you doing?
So, Jack was asking there about the genre of the music.
I would say, I mean, it's a mix of stuff. So it's got some. It starts in the blues, a little funk, a little R&B, a little hip hop. Just whatever that.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Whatever.
You're not like tied to one specific. Genre, which I feel like a lot of music coming out these days can't really be linked to one specific genre. They're just influences.
If I try to say one thing, then a song will come up that's completely different.
Which I think is cool. Like,
but you know, like okay, so Eric Gales, I like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh man,
Stevie.
That's the name.
Yeah, so you know Santana. I like a lot of the '60s, late '60s cats. So you know, even the British guys, the Who, Zeppelin. I like them a lot. Santana, I think I mentioned. Sly and the Family Stone. Bad Brains, Fishbone.
The music content.
Yeah.
What do you guys? What's your subject? What's some of your main subject? What do you guys like to talk about on your music?
You're just kind of going through stuff. It's reflecting of whatever the emotions are. So there's songs that might be a little more reflective, songs that might be a little more angry, songs that might be a little more horny, songs that might be a little more, you know what I mean? So kind of.
So you guys do like a rock version to "Pop That Coochie" by Tula Kurt? You don't know that song?
No, I do know.
You do?
I do know that song.
I see the smile. He looked at me and said,
I went to public school in Miami. I know what Wu-Tang Clan is.
Yeah, of course.
So for Sound Frontier, man, what are some of the things that people can expect? I know you're releasing one or two songs, but is there anything more you have intended here with Sound Frontier?
Just check us out on Instagram, Sound Frontier Music.
Well, no. Following you is one thing.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a split. But I'm saying, like, for you guys, as far as projects, performances, do you have anything lined up?
We're lining some things up for the summer. We'd like to start touring.
Oh, nice.
So that we can get outside of New York City.
Yeah.
Expand a little bit. So that, once we get everything kind of set up with the sort of release dates and the new material, we're going to coordinate that with hopefully some touring dates, some opportunities.
So Sound Frontier, man, I'm hoping you guys really do go out there on tour, man. That sounds like such a great move for you guys, especially being a band and you guys are just kind of getting yourself started, right? From what I understood.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time hanging out here with us, man?
Of course.
Shout
out to Get the Dream. Thank you for
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dreamcast, man. That's the dude right there. Now you were saying there, and I kind of. Had you repeat it now? Yeah. So.
No plug when we say you plug.
Where can people follow you? Where can people check out your music and whatnot?
All right, so we're on all the outlets: Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram. The handle is Sound Frontier Music on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify, obviously Sound Frontier. What else? SoundCloud. All of them. You just Google Sound Frontier. We're on YouTube. Got a couple videos on there as well. And,
dope.
Just check us out, man.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
And I like the sound you were describing with your band, man, and just a lot of the people that influence you are people that I genuinely like, just from an artistry standpoint, man. But those are some real dope names that you're into. That I feel that an artist like you, I definitely would like to hear. Thanks again for joining us, man. This is really cool, man. You're a friend of the show. Whenever you want to, if ever we're back up here, man, or if you're in our neck of the woods, we'd love to bring you on with your band, maybe.
Okay.
Check out the other guys.
Yeah,
right. Cool. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Paul, you're the man. Jack, you're the man. Guys, make sure you follow all of our dear friends here, especially our guest here, Sound Frontier. Check him out. And imagine he's got to be a great follow. Same with us, Everyman Podcast Show, guys. Make sure you click on that logo there. Like and subscribe. You see it. Click on it, man. We need you on here, okay? Right, he's got it. The hand gesture makes sense. Also on social media, Everyman Podcast Show. Make sure you give us a follow. Same with my guys here sitting on next to me here. I don't even know what's going on. I lost my mic. I don't even know if people are hearing this now. We out, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Deuces.
Peace.
I didn't vote for Obama. What's someone on the back end going,
Night and day. I've been dreaming here ever since my baby ran away.
oh, they said they ain't cutting the lights off. Okay, I was just making
You don't
sure.
pay me enough.
Yeah, the sound guy says it's over. Fuck you. I don't even care if I got nothing to do with the electricity. I'm just out of here.